Hi there, and welcome to my channel. In this video I wanted to share with you some cards I've been making over the past several weeks. I really got into the Spellbinders hot glimmer system, the hot foil glimmer system, and so I've just been buying a lot of plates, but also just having fun using them, and I haven't showed the cards along the way. Well, I'm getting quite a stack here. And so I thought I'd take some time to share these cards and then get them out of the way so that I can start another batch. So I've been buying plates from companies like Altenew. This one is called Decorative Flowers. And when possible, I buy the hot glimmer plate and the coordinating die. And if I do have a stencil, I store that in a different spot, but I put a sticker on this plastic envelope to let me know that I do have stencils. And then all the stencils for the glimmer plates are in a separate box from my regular everyday stencils. So Altenew's Decorative Flowers. So let's see where to start. Okay, so this one I glimmered the flower outline in gold. I used the coordinating stencil to color in the flowers and used Altenew inks. These are some oval dies from Spellbinders that recently came out. They're called Essential Stylish Ovals. And then I just went in my stash to find some gold, fancy gold cardstock. So I've got kind of a glitter cardstock back here. And then this is a bright mirror cardstock. This image is attached to this and then it's raised up on foam tape. And then I had these little gold sparkly dots that I had received a long time ago when I used to do pocket letters. And I just took all the little gifts from the pocket letters and separated it into categories. So I pull from these whenever I can. So that's one card, and what I did was when I cut this out, I just tried to center it, and then I took that leftover piece and added it to the inside of the card, and then you can write your message here. So there's one card using that die. This was the negative. So when you hot foil this design, you're left over with your scrap of foil, and then the white is where this gold ended up on that image. And so I took that scrap piece and ran it through the hot foil machine again and came up with this. This is some Stampin' Up! Paper. I thought the little flowers kind of matched the image. And then these are some brass butterflies also from Stampin' Up! And then I just adhered this panel to some black cardstock and then popped it up with some thin foam tape. And then for the inside, I just took a piece of white cardstock. This is some gold washi tape and another one of those little butterflies. And then this is another one that was the negative piece of the foil. I practiced coloring on the first piece and I was almost done and I got a big old smudge that couldn't be covered very creatively, so I threw that piece away, but I kept the background piece. And what I did is I laid a layer of black cardstock down and then I die cut this flower out, and I also used the die to cut a second layer of black cardstock, and I popped that second layer up with foam tape. And then I recessed this cutout flower into that space and then used some more of the brass butterflies from Stampin' Up! And again, I think I have, oh, this one I have a strip of the black cardstock and another little butterfly. And then I did stamp some using black foil. The positive piece or the outline piece I haven't colored up yet, but these are the negative pieces from the foil, and I just cut those out with a die. And then this is some textured white cardstock I had in my stash. I put some kind of a satin metallic strips on each side. This one is kind of a blue-green, And this is kind of a rose gold. And then these are some old in color butterflies from Stampin' Up. And then this vertical stamp is from Maybe Made It. And then on the inside I just used a scrap of the same color that I used on the outside. And the flowers are popped up on both of those cards. Then also from Altenew, I used Festive Flowers. The hot plate looks like that. Here are a couple where, okay, here's one where let's get it the right way. Here's one where I used black shiny foil, and it doesn't really show up. It's very subtle. But in the right light, you can see the black shine. And again, colored it in with the matching stencils. And then these were some little flower-shaped sequins from Stampin' Up. This was in my stash. It's a piece of acetate that's colored. And I just wanted something in the background, so I cut it to fit the card front. The inside is blank. And then here's another one. I tend to do them in 2s or 3s. So this one I did in gold foil. And I had a small scrap just to fit behind it a little bit. And accented it with gold sequins. The inside's blank on that one too. Here is the black negative piece of the foil. And I had this fun shaped die, so I die cut that from Gold Mirror cardstock. Added some little black gems to the corners. Oops, I have it upside down. And then this is some more of the textured cardstock I had in my stash. And this one is actually an easel card. And so I just cut a smaller shape from this set of nested dies that I used on the card front. And so I'll cut a smaller one yet and put a sentiment on that layer when I know how I want to use it. And so then I did the same thing with the gold negative foil. And these are some gems from Stampin' Up. And again, it's a easel card. Also from Altenew, I used Morning Blooms. And I foiled that and used the coordinating stencil. So here I went a little more colorful, kind of fallish colors. And then I also added some Wink of Stella to the hummingbird. And then I added some gems to the centers of these little flowers and 3 in the center of that flower. And this one has some gold mirrored cardstock in the background, and then kind of a cinnamon color cardstock from Stampin' Up. There's the inside. And then I did one in pastels, blue and pink. Again, I got gems in the center there, some gems in the center of these flowers, some Wink of Stella on the hummingbird, and then the inside. So then from Spellbinders, I used their hot foil plate called Wonderful Tulips, and that came with the die to cut out just the edge of the tulips. And then also available was a stencil set. And so here's some negative pieces of that foil where I die cut the edge and then tuck it in the corner of the card. This was a background die that I had. I can't remember who it's from. And then the tulips are popped up with foam tape. And then I just accented with some gold sequins. And the inside is just a white card. And then here's another one. Now this turned out a little bit more distressed. I find that when I'm doing the negative piece, the first one always looks more distressed than the second one I'm running through. And so I'm trying to be better about remembering to use a shim, but this was one of my first tries. And here I just put a Stampin' Up! Doily in the background and some more gold sequins. And then here's one where I just kept it on the white cardstock that I glimmer foiled it on, and then I just colored it with inks from Altenew. And then these are some more of those glitter dots like I showed you way back on a previous card. I'm not going to dig through. And then just for interest, I rounded the corner of the card base and the corner of the image. And when I think of how I want to use it, I'll probably add a sentiment somewhere up here. Maybe a little circle one or a band going across, but I'm leaving it blank for now. And then the last batch of cards I have to share with you, I used a hot foil plate from Waffle Flower. This is, I discovered this as I was searching for hot foil plates. So Susan Bates from Waffle Flower has been doing these sketched flowers, and each month they've been coming out with a new one. Well, I found this, I got into hot foil later, so I just went back and bought the whole series. And now I'll buy them monthly for as long as she offers them. And this one is called Sketched Sweet Pea. So there's a stamp set in here, there's a die, there's a hot foil plate, and there is a stencil set that I have stored elsewhere. So anyway, I have these two cards right here. So I had some resist paper in my stash, so I just took some ink and lightly shaded an oval, kind of an oval shape in the center of that resist paper. And then that's where I popped up the die cut glimmer piece. And then accented with some glitter dots. I think these were from Stampin' Up. And then a strip of the resist paper that I inked up a little bit darker. And then this one, I did a different resist design and inked the center with some pink ink. And this one was die cut with kind of a silver holographic foil. This one was done in gold. And then again, some more glitter dots to accent the image. And then here's a piece of the resist paper on the inside. So then I took the negatives from those two images and made some cards. Here's with the, it's not plain gold foil. I can't remember what they call it. But anyway, it's gold, but it's also kind of holographic, which you can see as I tilt the card. And then just accented with those little glitter dots. This is not popped up. This time it's flat. And then I rounded the corners on some black cardstock. And then I had this leftover piece from a paper pumpkin kit or a Stampin' Up! Card kit of some kind, and I just used that as the inside for the sentiment. And then this one, that one would go with that. This one, excuse me, this one is the silver holographic. And again, that's not what it's called, but I don't have the exact name in front of me. But so made it the same way, except I had some little dots that were a silver outline with black glitter on in the center. Otherwise put together the same way. So quite a few cards I've been building up in my stash, having a lot of fun with hot foil plates, and I just put in another small order to Pink Fresh Studio. And I still have some that I haven't dug into yet, so I plan to do that in the next few weeks. And when I get a good amount of cards to share with you, I will post another video. I'd like to thank you for joining me, and now I'm off to create.